to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, welcome to your mystery reading. First, we are going to shuffle out one major arcana from the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot to get the context or the general energy. If you want to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you're interested, you can also find me on TikTok. I just do more readings over there every now and then. So link to that will be in the description. And before I get you your major arcana, remember that this is a general reading on YouTube, so if a certain message doesn't resonate, that's okay, just let it go, because it's probably meant for someone else. So for your major arcana, okay, we have Temperance. I feel like Temperance and the Emperor are two cards that come out a lot whenever I use major arcanas for like the context or the general energy of the reading. With Temperance here, and talking about the Emperor, I really feel like this is about standing up in your power, standing up for yourself, so that way the universe can push you to where you're truly meant to be, where you actually deserve to be. I just saw 122 and then 123. So change definitely does start with you. The kind of energy that you put out, whether it's dark or light or whatever, it's always going to impact somebody. So it matters a lot, how you show up in the world. And with 123, definitely trust that everything happened or is happening or will happen in terms of challenges for a reason. And I also am reminded of this line that I read from Letters to a Starseed by Rebecca Campbell. It was trust the timing of your life. Okay, I just looked at my camera and realized it was doing that, and I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know. My camera's, I just saw 222, but my camera's been acting weird since I've been recording, so if it's acting weird, there's nothing I can do about it. This is the only camera I have. And if you're here for the messages, then, don't worry about it. I just saw 2, 3, 4. Again, trust that everything happens for a reason. My camera is acting up for a reason. I don't know how that could be a sign for somebody, but if it keeps doing it throughout the reading, unless it makes it hard to do the reading in terms of like showing the cards and everything, I'm just going to let it be. So please just don't let that bother you, especially if you're really just here for the messages. But yeah, Temperance is all about being aligned with who you truly are and what you truly deserve and what you truly do desire. There's a deep sense of peace that I feel here. A near-death experience might be significant in some way. And I saw 3, 2, 1. So if that near-death experience, it doesn't have to be yours. If near-death experience in general is significant for you, definitely trust that is significant for a reason. And I'm seeing 3, 3, 3. There's definitely something here about growing and expanding. And with the Emperor energy coming through, you really need to be focused on learning how to use your voice and to stand up for yourself and to just not be afraid to fight for the truth. I'm also thinking of something else from that book. Honestly, being a starseed could be significant for someone, or that book, Letters to a Starseed by Rebecca Campbell, could be significant. Rebecca Campbell herself could be significant. But yeah, with the imagery on this Temperance here, there's definitely something here about taking light and dark energies and working with them to create something. I'm going to look deeper into this with the Prisma Visions Tarot. We're just going to get a few of those, keeping the reading short because I don't have power right now. So if the lighting is also a little bit too harsh, it's because I'm using a flashlight. And I saw 432. So your first card here is the 7 of Cups, and for some reason I wanted to say the 7 of Pentacles, and I also just saw 444. The idea of stability and security is really important right now. Making sure that your career is one that you deserve, the people in your life are people that you deserve, your home life is one that you deserve. All those kinds of things. With the Seven of Cups, wanting to say the Seven of Pentacles, someone here is really being called to stay patient and, to not watch paint dry. You may need to distract yourself while you're waiting for something to grow, so that way you're not dwelling on, why is it not happening now? And then those questions leading you to be self-destructive and ultimately sabotaging the work that you have done. So this is definitely one of those times where distracting yourself can be helpful. But also know when distracting yourself is not helpful. If distracting yourself is too hard, or if you just feel called to, pay attention to how you feel. Instead, allow yourself to feel those feelings and work with them, especially with that energy of working with the light and the dark. Yin and yang might be significant for someone. I'm seeing 555. Definitely now is a time to take your decisions seriously, especially if you want to be in this more peaceful, everything is as it's meant to be kind of energy or place, I want to say. There definitely could be something here about the decisions that you make at home that you need to take more seriously, and maybe especially when it comes to money or other resources that you have. Make sure you're not overspending or giving more than you actually have. That could definitely be significant for someone. And I believe that is feminine Venus energy with Scorpio. And the 7 is a message to remember that the more that you give to yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, the more that you are able to receive from the universe, because the universe is not going to give you something, if you're still living in that fear state where you're just going to sabotage it anyway because you're afraid of losing it. There's definitely something impulsive here about how you kind of push yourself to experience loss sooner than you're meant to, or even if you're meant to, so you don't have to wait to experience that loss down the line. And with that, I want to say to not worry until you have to. Don't lose something until it's time. Instead of, it's complicated. You really got to look deep within yourself, so that way you could make decisions that consider your worth and what you deserve. You need to focus on making decisions out of self-love. And there could be people here who are trying to make you feel guilty or selfish in a bad way for choosing you. But there is such thing as a good kind of selfish and a bad kind of selfish. And the good kind is doing what you need to do to make sure you are safe and you're taken care of. You don't owe anyone anything. And I feel called to say, unless there is an explicit deal made. You definitely could be being called to recognize what relationships in your life are actually unconditional, what kinds are transactional, and to get rid of the ones that are transactional, because you deserve people in your life who care more about who you are and what you have to say rather than what you have to offer. For your next card, we have the World. For you to be able to make better decisions, we'll put it as, you really need to find some very deep closure with something. There's a lot of fear here that is causing you to be impulsive and to make decisions that you actually truly do not want to make. I'm feeling something here about your actions aligning with your morals. Cognitive dissonance might be a significant thing here. Let me get a drink of water real quick. I also just noticed that the root chakra is on the World card here. So again, that Emperor, foundational, stability, security type of energy. I really feel like there are fears here that are taking away from your sense of feeling safe and stable and secure. This is definitely a time to tell yourself that I deserve to feel safe and to feel stable and to feel taken care of. Definitely the best person to rely on right now in terms of giving you what you deserve is you. That's really what you need to prioritize right now, and you really need to be focused on healing as well. So that way you can truly understand what pushes you to be self-destructive. So that way you can really understand what pushes you to love yourself more. And I just saw 10:10 as soon as I looked at the timer. So I really am feeling that your spirit guides, could be specifically ancestors, doesn't have to be, but all of your spirit guides regardless do want to be there to support you and to help you heal. They want you to trust them more and to communicate with them more. I'm definitely feeling that, you're not alone on this journey of trying to figure out where you're truly meant to be and what is truly, stable and secure for you. And it's interesting how that came out. So that could be like there's something specific for someone that helps them feel safe. And, make sure that whatever that is, it's realistic and it's actually reliable. And I just saw 111. So definitely, this is temperance energy when I see that number. This is all about aligning with your true path. I'm feeling something here about true north, your north node, south node, those things can be significant. But aligning with your true path that you actually deserve to be on by removing everything and everyone that does not serve you in a way that considers what you deserve and how you feel and those kinds of things. And I did see 1, 2, 3. So anything that you're having to let go to make space for things that you do deserve, definitely trust that that's happening for a reason. And you really have a lot of potential here to have so much more through letting go than holding on. I hope that makes sense. But now we have the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands can be a fast moving energy. And I really feel like this is the universe asking you to slow down more, to not get so attached to the future and what could be. Stay focused on the present moment, stay present, and accept where you are now, the way that things are now, so that way you can get things, the way that you want them to be. To be able to have what we want in life, we have to be open to not wanting it because, it's complicated, but expecting it causes us to be self-destructive and just a lot harder to have what we want. I saw 1, 2, 3, 4. The universe and someone's spirit guides really, really want them to trust at this time that everything is happening for a reason, especially if you are currently facing a challenge as you are watching this tarot reading. I'm going to get some more water while I think on this. I feel called to say that the number 3 could be really significant for someone. I just saw 1313, which is confirmation of that message of the number 7. The more that you give to yourself, the more that you are able to receive from the universe. That's definitely a sign of good luck, that your healing is going to pay off. The 8 of Wands to me can also represent, I just saw 333. Really just, it's making me think of the 8 of Cups. That card in particular could be significant for someone. Maybe you want to look it up. But really, the biggest thing that you need to be focused on right now is understanding your fears and either getting rid of the irrational ones or finding, if you feel like you can't get rid of this anxiety, finding comfort within it. Another thing that I read about in the letters for Starseed or from a Starseed, whatever the title is something about being comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's something I've definitely personally been focused on for a long time before I read that part of the book today. So that definitely happened for a reason. I really feel someone's spirit guides is trying to push someone to find comfort outside of their comfort zone. It's really, really important for you to do that if you want what you truly do deserve, because you just have to be open to things not playing out in the way that you expect. Especially if the universe is trying to show you something with the unexpected. Really look at these things with curiosity rather than judgment, I want to say. I just saw 4, 5, 6. Again, trust that everything happens for a reason. 1 second. Okay, so to wrap up this reading, I'm going to get a couple cards from this box of cards that I made myself. And we have no. So I'm really feeling saying no and standing up for yourself and not accepting anything less than you deserve. Finding the courage to do that is what you really need to be focused on. You need to balance your grace with more courage, because you are both. You are not just fierce and bold or just kind. You know, you need a balance of both. Because if you're too courageous, you know, you're going to take some risks that are not worth taking. But if you're too graceful, I mean, you could say the same thing, but you're going to be taken advantage of. Someone really, really needs to stand in their power right now, especially with that Emperor energy coming through in the beginning. The Emperor card itself could be significant. I feel like emotionally as well, thinking of the Empress, you are being guided to be emotionally independent and, you know, being able to communicate with yourself in difficult and challenging times, to be able to soothe yourself or your inner child. Communication and boundaries are very, very important right now, but not only with the people in your life, but most importantly with yourself, so that way you can communicate honestly and set boundaries with people in your life. Protecting yourself and your energy is what you need to be doing right now, and to allow the rest to flow. With the Temperance card, there's definitely something here about moving with the flow instead of forcing things or trying to make something happen that just is not happening. So definitely accept things for what they are now, so you can better understand what it means to flow with the universe. And that Letters to a Starseed book by Rebecca Campbell, I really feel like that could be an important book for someone. If you already have it, this is definitely a strong sign to read it, or there's something specific from that book that's important. But for your last card, oh my gosh, I already love how this starts. It says, it's okay to be afraid, but remember that fear is only a feeling. It only has power over your actions if you allow it. With 999 and 222, I'm hearing an airplane, so that flying could be significant for someone in some way, maybe overcoming a fear of flying. Travel could be significant, and it doesn't necessarily have to be on a plane. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, you really have to, when you are afraid, the best thing that you can do for yourself is tell yourself it's okay. It's going to be okay. Because even if you experience traumatic things, you can come out on the other side stronger. And, you know, if you really want to think extreme and it comes down to death, you're still going to be okay. Talking about near-death experience, actually, that's coming up again. I like watching near-death experience videos, because I feel like that's the closest we're really going to get to actual evidence of what happens after we die. But my sister, she had one, and she told me that it was peaceful. You know, like, in general, I'm really getting the message that when you do die, it's just like any other change or transformation in your life. It is never as scary as it seems. But some part of me also feels like, you know, we could also influence where we end up after we die. So that could definitely be a motivator for someone to take their decisions more seriously in this lifetime, so that way you can experience a better next lifetime. You know, and talking about near-death experiences, I think that's, you know, the ultimate loss someone can experience, you know, whether it's someone you know or, you know, you yourself. I really feel like someone here needs to change their perspective on death, and this will really, really help you change your perspective on loss overall. There's definitely something very spiritual about this that will help you find closure. Maybe this is what this is about, finding closure with death in general or death of somebody else. There's really something very spiritual here that the universe and your spirit guides have to offer you to help you find closure. You just have to be willing to accept that offer and to dig deep within yourself to find those answers that you really, really, really need and have, this doesn't have to resonate for everyone, but that you probably needed since you were a kid. There's a chance that you never really had a fair chance to have a healthy perspective on life, where, understanding and accepting that it can't just be good and easy. It also is challenging and bad, for lack of a better way to say it. Me personally, I don't like the labels good and bad because it's not really accurate. For the best way to say it, I think that things are rather easy or challenging rather than good or bad. And there's definitely a strong need here to be open to all different kinds of outcomes in life. And when it comes to the more darker things, I really, really feel like this is a huge, huge opportunity for you to really see your strength and to really, really tap into your courage and your fiery, almost animalistic kind of energy, to really tap into the human side of you. With 999 and 222, healing is really going to make it very clear to you what your purpose is here on this earth. And being a starseed is coming up again. That doesn't have to resonate for everybody, but no matter who is watching this, your purpose is very, very significant here in the best way to really, you're the only person who can know what that is, what your purpose is. Nobody else can tell you that. And healing and releasing your fears or finding more comfort within them, it's just going to bring you a lot of clarity and a lot of answers. It's going to help you better understand where you actually deserve to be. But that will be the end of your reading. I hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you'd like to hit the like button to show me that's the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can donate to the thanks button directly below the video and sing 222. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any. I'd really love to connect with you and hear your story more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.